guy who I consider a quiet hero. He is a hard-working family man who's extremely creative and has thoughts to share. Would you please give it up for our poet for the evening, Jim McCown.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if I'm as cool as the Beats. Thanks for mentioning them, but I'll try. Yeah, so this is like my fourth, fifth time reading here, maybe, in this great establishment. It's a blast and an honor every time. Tonight was especially cool. The music is fantastic. No, right? I didn't want them to stop playing. I didn't want to come up here and read. I want them to keep reading or keep playing. So but that's the way it goes. I write poems, and I have to read you a couple right now. I was thinking I got a couple new ones and a couple old ones, but it was occurring to me that a lot of people have never probably heard me before. So, but that's in the Poets Union in our contract. We have to tell people when we have a new one and an old one or something like that. So, but anyway, I'm going to read a couple here real quick. Thank you in advance for lending me your ears, and then we'll get on with the music after that. Oh, no wonder why these are blurry. All right, this is called "And the Archers Shot at Him Till He Was Full of Arrows." Oh, and by the way, thank you so much again for Joe's Café and for John, inviting me to read and making sure I got here too. So, whoever greens this tree is inexhaustible. As your legs grow into the sky and the wood is now blindfolded, how does your body find enough water to extinguish bliss? Where did the sun first give birth to my own struggling roots, spreading out in wonder to cover a solitary face, searching for the eyes that are dipped in clouds, more to do with helplessness than a need for tears? There are boundaries in this exchange that never stop forgetting. The old marks are there, waiting for you to misinterpret them as blood, or as boorish bark, or as the pith of pity. We are afraid of the grave of the broken hounds, and so naturally a lot of our bones will be stolen, yet all our remaining secrets still add up to one body. There are two masks carved into the death of our single soul. One is thinking, what is the meaning of kissing the ground with cautious footsteps? One is thinking, no one teaches you how to dance your way out of a dreaming maze. An enlightened man knows to steal during the blink of God's eye. Passionate and guilty, he is driven so foolhardy that his trembling legs will be broken up like sticks for the Fletcher. The dirt eats at him, abandoning him in the mortal wound of the day. The color of that hour is not unique. It is the time of the blue flower, bearing the red, sharp fruit of penalty. I wait for that color to disappear into your mouth, for a breath that mimics the twist of my bound-up limbs. I can no longer raise my voice as prey. I can no longer raise my ambitions to your throat. I can no longer raise my hooded eyes to watch for your pupils to eclipse in their sky, like a hail of blindness, to never again see me separated from my own martyrdom. A muted man will turn to hear a sacrificial voice, his own, discussing casualty to the branches, stinging with empty lungs, pierced to yielding with the fermata of traitorous arrows, the brutal rising and falling of notes teased in crimson drips across pale skin, failing as dry leaves must always surrender in a brush with fire. How does your body find enough water to put out every wound? Where did the arrows first give birth to my own bleeding thorns? In a path, buried with haphazard marksmanship, plunged into every target but one, the charred desires of the fire-hardened wooden heart. Thanks. That's another poet's union thing. You gotta say thanks at the end of each poem. I don't know why you do that. It's like a bad habit I picked up. Thanks to Stag, too, for wetting my whistle. This is a new one. I just wrote it today, actually. It's called Metamorphosis. 1. We're only the beginning of the epic. A weakness shaped like lips admitting there is no one here actually doing the speaking. Hushed between hard weather and weathered stone bastions, the quiet decay of hearts is oft seduced by hope, gnawing away at the clay to get at the flesh, as if it would somehow make it weigh less than its emptied remainder. 2. The sun redirects the planets to align over us as a crown, with gilded thorns piercing our inverted figurehead into a crimson flourish of wounds, our meridian of eyes bejeweled with Jovian droplets, watching as illusion seduces the brashness of birds away from their sky, in clouds so thick as to trick the day into thinking the darkness is impenetrable. 3. The night is buried beneath us, within the sleep of memory. Between us, a colorless photograph developed by the alchemy of our own suffering, a dreaming image of your splintered hands casting filigree shadows into my abyssal skin, abstracting thought into movement to confound the oracle's blind. 4. You lifted yourself up into the middle of a fallen bird in exchange for its fate, a human-shaped pit, a pittance that would never be filled by my overzealous ashes. Our potential to take to the air is beguiled only by parallel refusals, the illusion of getting closer in the pursuit of greater and greater distance. 5. Fear puts me into a mask and speaks its way through me, to tell the world the faithful lie. Wings heave no pity, and the sky is just a too long-held breath with nothing thereafter. Only rumors of a man can hope to sleep with something that could fly away so easily. Escape from poetic justice must still always come with its sentence. Thanks. And I'll read you one more out of my book, and then we'll call it a day and get back to the music. How about that? This is called Psalms, from a book I wrote a couple years ago, called Murmuration. The prayer of you has been sanctified, a change in the ratio of inarticulate patterns, an eloquent broadcast of turbulence into the perception of mirages. All magic, but no electricity from this body dust. And the knowledge that the separation of skin into fictitious walls and slowly diving elegies will only leave a craving for the wet allure of a contraband euphoria. Only you embody the quality of loosened knots, dreaming about the number of birds' nests you hope to untangle and reassemble into paucity. Only you will exhale a clear breath into the shudder of another night's empty redemption, working out the value of some underwhelming memory, left alone to swallow your own temperament, fit only for a dancing flame. We are all willing hostages, peering from behind paper walls, hidden and gnashing and waiting for decay, waiting for these bitter days to end, turning gray in the looming indifference of the sun until distance finally teaches us its invaluable lesson, when the empty spaces will have to fear falling into us. Thank you.